What's up? Welcome to Trackletics Live, the ultimate show for all things track and field. Join us as we dive deep into the sport, interviewing track and field athletes, coaches, nutrition specialists, and more. Get ready to hear some dope conversations and gain exclusive insight into what it takes to become a top performer in the sport. Whether you're a seasoned track and field athlete or just starting off, this is the show for you. So make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Let's get into the show. Everyone, let's welcome Talie. Good morning. How
Good
are you doing today?
morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to connect with you, learn more about your story. I've already been aware of you competing at Arizona. You've done some big things there, so I got some questions about that. But how's training going for you right now?
Training's good. I'm down here in Tucson still, so the weather's still nice. Um, so we're still outside, which is awesome. But training's going well, and just getting ready for season opener in late January, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you compete this season. But before we get into that, let's take it all the way back. I like to take it all the way back. How did you start running track? Why are you even running track?
Yeah, so
One hard lesson I've learned being an athlete is that hydration is a major key to performance. You will not perform your best dehydrated. I hydrate with Eternal Water. Eternal Water is a naturally alkaline, pure, pristine water sourced directly from the springs here in America. It's filtered through layers of ancient rock, absorbing essential minerals and electrolytes you need to perform your best. It tastes amazing, makes you feel amazing, turning every workout into your best workout. I hydrate with Eternal Water.
I started track in high school. Ninth grade
Wow.
is when I joined. Um, I only did it because my older sister did it, and I just wanted to be like her. You know how all siblings are like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started in ninth grade, and I never really wanted to do track, which is kind of funny, because I never really enjoyed running that much. I liked to do other sports. Volleyball was my absolute favorite sport. And I also did soccer and basketball and like anything you can think of, I did it. And so yeah, I started in ninth grade, went all the way through high school. The plan was never to keep going in track, but I ended up getting a scholarship. So I just decided to go for it. And then I ended up committing to Utah State University, where I was there for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up transferring to Arizona, where I was for 4 years. And I mean, that was the best decision I've ever made. I love Arizona. Can't say enough good things about it. But yeah, so that's
No,
why I
yeah,
did it. My mom used to run track, so it's kind of a little family thing. So that's why I started.
family business. I see.
Yes.
Okay, that's dope. What what made you choose the events that you're running? Right, like there's so many events in track. You can run, you can jump, you can throw, you can do distance. What made you? How did you choose up?
Yeah, so I actually was recruited as a multi, so a heptathlete.
Ah,
Um, and so I did that at Utah State for 2 years. And then I was actually recruited as a multi to go to Arizona as well. And I trained for that for another 2 years. And then injuries and just my body couldn't handle being a multi anymore because it's just a lot.
brutal.
Yeah, it's horrible. And so I was like, you know what? I just can't put this stress on my body anymore. And so I just picked my favorite two events, high jump and hurdles. And then I decided to focus on that for my last 2 years of college. And again, best decision I've ever made. I improved so much when I just focused on those two.
Yeah, it's been amazing watching your journey. You've done some big things. But before I get into Arizona, we got to go to Utah.
Yes.
What made you choose Utah, right? That was the first school you attended. You said you had a scholarship offer there. But I know you had some other offers. I know some other schools looking at you. What made you choose Utah?
Yeah. Well, so in high school, I was never like a superstar. You know, I was just okay. And so I didn't get like huge schools looking at me out of high school. I just got some like middle range schools looking at me. Um, and the reason why I picked Utah is I wanted something different because I grew up in Vegas. I wanted to get away and just go have my own experience.
Mm.
And so Utah is totally different from Vegas. And so,
That.
I mean, the weather, the people, everything is different. And so I wanted something different. And when I went on my visit there, I I just thought it was like such a beautiful place. Like coming from somewhere who doesn't have a lot of nature, being out there, and I went in the fall, and so I got to see all the amazing colors and everything, and it was just such a pretty place, and it felt like a safe place where I could feel at home. And so that's why I decided to go there. And I did love it. I loved my experience there. I met a ton of people I'm still friends with to this day. So I had mostly a good experience there at Utah State, and so I I wouldn't trade my time there for anything in the world. I really loved it.
So then, why did you leave? Why did we transfer to Arizona?
Yeah, good question. So I kind of feel like I was just outgrowing the program there.
Makes sense.
I feel like I needed something more from the coaches, from the people around me. I think I needed to challenge myself a little bit more. And
Mhm.
so I was looking to go somewhere where I wouldn't be the best, and the coaches, had so much knowledge about things that I didn't know, and I really needed help, and I wanted guidance, and I wanted to push myself, and so I felt like I needed to leave for that to happen.
Got you. So, did you reach out to Arizona where there are some schools that are already looking at you? Because this is slightly before
Yeah,
the whole
so
transfer
nobody,
portal and everything.
sorry, it cut out a little bit. Can
Oh,
you
there
hear
we
me?
go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so I actually used the transfer portal the very first year that it was a thing.
Ah, okay.
Um, so it was kind of new, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I don't think a lot of people knew what they were doing.
Right.
Um, but no, I kind of went into it blindly. I didn't have anybody speaking to me like, "Hey, we want you," but I just knew that I wanted to leave, and I knew I'd find a place. And my sister, actually, older sister, ran at University of Arizona. So I knew I had knowledge of the coaches there. I knew they knew what they were doing. I knew about the program. And so that's where I wanted to go anyways. So when I entered the transfer portal, they were the only school on my radar. I just wanted to go to Arizona to be coached by the coaches there. But it was funny because I didn't know, like, I had entered the transfer portal and then I went to bed and then I woke up the next day and I checked my email and I had so many emails from so many different schools and I was like, whoa, this is kind of cool. I didn't know so many people like wanted me. But regardless, I mean, it was all tempting, like Texas A&M. I was like, maybe I should, go to these schools. But I was like, no, I'm gonna stick with my gut, and I'm gonna go to Arizona where I wanted to go. And I did that, and again, very glad I did stick with my
Yeah,
gut.
you had an amazing collegiate career at Arizona, right? Broke the indoor record at least 3 times, right? Tell me about that. What was that experience like at Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, Arizona was just, I kept surprising myself, and that's the best thing about sports is when you just keep getting better and keep surprising yourself. Um, I was really disappointed in my junior year. Um, I had just missed the mark for indoor nationals, and so I was kind of upset, but I ended up breaking the school record or tying the school record. So I was like, I guess I can't complain too much. But I really want to make that indoors. And so the next year I came back with like a fire lit under me, and I broke my own school record. I think it was 3 or 4 times. Like every race, it just kept. I mean, I was like barely lowering it, but it just kept going lower and lower. And then I ended up going to indoors. Finally, my last year is the first time I'd gone to indoors, and then getting an All-American award, and it was just so much fun. And it it was like me against me. I just wanted to keep lowering that record because I want it to stand for a long time because I'm proud of it, and But yeah, so that
Yeah,
was indoors.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It literally was you versus you, because you had a part of your season where you were literally undefeated, like where it was like 6 or 7 meets or something where you were consecutively winning, consecutively improving, and then you start breaking your own record. Like, what does it feel like to break a record and have a record?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so, it's like unreal. I never had a record in high school, like ever. And my sister has all the records at our high school. And so I
Ah,
never had anything like that. And so when I got to Arizona and I finally got a record, I was like, oh, this is, it's really cool that to think that nobody who ever has been at this school has run that faster than me. And it's just like it's kind of a weird thought. But I mean, it's every time I was on that line, that was my goal is I want to lower this record and get a better time. Just be better every single time I race. Um, and if I was, then I got another school record, so that was like a bonus.
yeah, true, true. What was the training like?
The, the training, um, the training. So my junior year, I did high jump and hurdles, but I mainly focused. I was more with the high jump group,
Hmm.
and then I would go hurdle like once or twice a week, um, which was fun, and I did really well in high jump that year because I was focusing on it more. I ended up winning the Pac-12 in high jump that year, jumping 6 feet,
Ooh.
um, and I unfortunately 12 people make it to nationals, and I was number 13, so unlucky number 13, but it happened. And then my senior year, we made a switch, and I focused more on hurdles and not as much on high jump. And my hurdles improved a lot. I still did well at high jump, not as well as I did the year before. But just changing the focus on whatever event I was doing really helped. Um, so yeah, I would. So my senior year, when I was hurdling really well and I was improving, I would do like speed work twice a week and hurdling 3 times a week, and then 1 day off. And so it was lots of short sprints and hurdling, which is what I guess you need to be better.
Makes sense, because you ended up getting out there and breaking records. So it seems like it
Yep.
all adds up to me. Seems
Yep.
like it all adds up. But what was the team environment like? What was the school life like? We're student athletes, so you got to kind of talk about that too, right? Give me the whole Arizona experience.
Yeah. Yeah, so I loved my teammates at Arizona. When I first got here, I was part of the multi group, and I love them. Still really good friends with them to this day. And I don't know. I've just made lifelong friends at Arizona. We're all very supportive of each other. We want each other to do really well, at least in I can't speak for other people's experience. So my own group and where I feel like I got a taste of every group because I got to work with the high jumpers, I got to work with the hurdlers, I got to work with the multis, and so I got to know everybody, which was really fun. But overall, the team's very supportive. Um, like I said, we're still friends. We do things outside of track, so it's not just track relationships. Um, which is I think super important because you need to be happy in your outside life to be happy in your track life.
True.
Um, and so, yeah. And so being able to have not just teammates but friends with you at practice is really important. Ones that like care about how you're doing and not just how you're doing on the track, but like emotionally and
Life.
physically, and they actually, yeah, and they care about how well you're doing and things outside of track, which is important. And so I just, yeah, I mean, I loved Arizona. I loved my teammates, and we still talk, and they're still supporting me, which is awesome. But yeah, for sure.
I love to hear that, because that's basically my track experience as well. My closest friends, now I call them brothers, we met in track,
Hmm.
and this is all
Yeah.
the way back to high school. When I got to college, same thing. And I'm still close with all of those guys. Like, we just went out for dinner about a week or two ago. So it's great to still, have those friends that are looking out for me, that really have my best interest in mind, really want me to be successful, whether it was on the track or in life in general. It wasn't no secret
Yeah.
competition or secretly hating, and I feel like track is the best sport to actually meet, people like that. We're showing up to practice every day,
Totally.
putting our life on the line. I had some workouts where I'm almost blacking out. So your friends keep you motivated. They keep you locked in. So that's great to hear. Really
Yeah.
great to hear. But now I want to know about your training now. What are you doing now to prepare for this coming season?
Yeah, so I pretty much am doing very similar things as I did last year. I'm just amping up the weight room a little bit more. I've had some injuries in the past and I have scoliosis, so some back issues. And so we've always been very careful in the weight room of, loading the back and just
Right.
doing certain things that could tweak it. Um, but I'm feeling a lot stronger this year, and so we're starting to load the weight on, and I think that's going to help um, my race, especially powering out of the blocks and stuff like that. So the weight room has changed a little bit, but besides that, I mean, the other stuff is pretty much the same. It's just fine tuning things, um, working a little bit more on technique and trying to get it perfect so I can lower my time because there's not going to be huge jumps anymore. So every little thing is going to count. And so I'm just trying to work on those things to perfect them so I can just keep inching that time down a little by little.
Makes sense. Makes sense. What's your favorite weightlifting exercise then? What are you doing in the weight room that you feel really, helps you affect your training?
Yeah, to be honest, I hate lifting weights. I hate it.
I appreciate the honesty, but why?
I just like to me, it's just uncomfortable and it like hurts, if that makes sense.
Nah,
Like
that's exactly that's what it feels like.
I just, yeah, I'm just not a weightlifter. I never have been. I never really enjoyed it. But I know that it makes me better, so that's why I suck it up and I just do it. But right now we're working on a lot of like deadlifting and power cleans and stuff like that. So,
Got you. Okay, so let me rephrase the question. What
okay.
weightlifting exercise do you hate the least?
Okay, do I hate the least? That's tough. I'd actually say power cleans. I don't mind them,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
like, especially when I keep improving. I don't hate it as much because I'm getting better
Gotcha.
at it.
Yeah, power cleans is definitely my favorite lift. You feel strong. It's
hmm
explosive. They're quick movements. They don't hurt as much.
No,
Squats, I hate. Oh my god, I hate squats. So I understand
me
what you're
too.
saying when you're like it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
I don't like squats, but I love power cleans. What is your
Yes.
favorite track workout? Something that you feel might help improve your technique, improve your speed. What's your favorite track workout?
Um, anytime we hurdle is my favorite. I love hurdling. I don't like to just run. I I just I like barriers in front of me. So that's what I like. My favorite hurdle workout probably is when we do it's for outdoors. It's 10 hurdles, so regular 10 hurdle race. But you take out instead of 3 steps in the middle, you make them 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so you work on actually sprinting and it
Right.
makes you accelerate towards the end. And it's supposed to give you like if you run this in this practice, you should run it in a meet. It kind of simulates how fast you should be running the race. So I always find that interesting to see how close I am
Yeah.
to what I've been running in practice. But yeah, I enjoy hurdling. Anything with hurdling is fun for me.
I like those type of workouts too. It shows you where you are, kind of sets you up for that meet that's coming. But you said indoors. It's no longer indoors. It's short track and long track now. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about World Athletics changing that up?
Um, I I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess. I don't really think it matters. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on
Whether
that.
it's short track, indoor, whatever we call it, you're gonna get out there and still blaze the track and
Exactly. I'm
be ready.
doing the same thing. The goal does not change.
I love that. I love that. We got your favorite weightlifting exercise. We got your favorite track workout. Now
Yeah.
let's say track practice is over. What are you refueling with
Okay.
after?
I usually try to do like quick proteins. I I keep these like turkey sticks, chomps. I don't know if you know what those are. They're like beef jerky kind of, but I keep
Mhm.
them there in my backpack to immediately take after to help rebuild. Also, I'll do like a protein shake if I don't have food on me. But like dinners, I like to do like chicken and rice is like one of my favorites
Ah,
for protein.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you putting in your protein shakes? Are you like mixing the powder and water, shaking up, go? Are you making a whole smoothie?
It depends. I do smoothies in the morning. Sometimes I'll do protein. I don't like the taste of protein powder.
Really?
Um, and yeah, I'm weird. Um,
I was
and at Arizona
I've heard
they
that
have
before. Not everybody does.
yeah, I just like it's just not really my thing. I mean, I'll drink it because I need to, but like I don't really enjoy it that much. But at Arizona they have the rockin' protein like shamrock shakes, and most of the time I'll just grab some of those so I don't have to make my own. But I always go for the ones that are 30 grams, no added sugar, lactose free.
Fire, fire. I like that. Um, Now, I want to take a second to congratulate you on your partnership with VS Athletics, right? Joining the VS Athletics track team. First off, how did you connect with VS Athletics?
Yeah, so my coach, Coach Harvey, I feel like he knows everybody on the planet. And so he knows Matt, who is with VS Athletics. Um, and then Matt just reached out to me and we got to know each other and his daughter actually runs with my sister at BYU. So we have
Ah,
kind of have a connection. He's from Vegas, I'm from Vegas. So we just got to know each other and he's been super awesome in this whole process of post collegiate athletics for me. And so yeah, we just got to know each other and liked each other, and now we're working together. So it's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
congratulations on that. That's
Thank
huge. The
you.
first athlete that they announced on their new track club. Um, how do you feel that's helping you this coming season?
Yeah, it's definitely going to help me not have to take money out of my own pocket for sure. It's going to take a lot of financial stress off of me, which is nice. Um, and I feel like to do track post collegiately, that's one of the reasons why people can't keep going or they end up stopping is because of financials. And so with the help of that, I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier and more enjoyable for me and stress free. And so it'll help me be able to reach my potential and keep going, which I'm so grateful for because this is what I want to do. And so just with the help of them making it possible for me, it's just I have no words for how grateful I am for anybody who's helping me through this process.
I love that. It's gonna seems like it's helping you stay focused on the track, right? Because I know some professional track and field athletes that have a part-time job, so they'll train in the morning, eat to refuel, and then they're heading off to work, right? And so
Yeah,
that's slowing down your recovery time, or the other things that you could be working on, the small things that you could be working on to help improve, right? But splitting your focus, your
exactly.
energy, that alone, that that can set you back a lot, So VS Athletics, helping out, making sure that you literally don't have any outside stresses. You can really continue to focus on track and field is huge, right? I've interviewed athletes
Yeah,
from Texas,
totally.
Oregon, USC, and these are top schools in the NCAA. And they all feel like it's make or break by senior year. If I don't get that sponsorship, I'll have to be done with track, right? I have this nice
Yeah,
degree. Once I put that on my resume, all these jobs want me, right? I can make about 50,000 a year, or I can struggle with track and field and be poor. And so
yeah,
that's
exactly.
the dilemma. Do I want to go on with my life and become who I think I can be, or do I want to stay in track and become who I believe I can be? So
Yeah,
it's huge that they're building
exactly.
this team.
I
Really huge.
actually, I actually got a job, like after senior. the senior year. I only lasted about 3 months, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna do this, I have to go all in. I
Mm-hmm.
want to, like, there's no way I can become the athlete I want to be if I have to go to this desk job every day. And so I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna pursue my dreams, and so I just quit, and now this is what I'm doing. And so I'm like happy that I'm going for my dream. But yeah, definitely with the help of people is making it a lot less stressful for me.
Definitely. And I'm not talking down or bad about anybody that has a job. Definitely continue to work if you have to, but
No.
I'm saying stay focused on the track. If you got to do both, you got to do it. But now we got,
Yes.
you know, companies like VS Athletics that's actually helping track and field athletes out, you know, and
Yeah.
not talking bad about any other brand, but the way that VS Athletics is going about it, they actually care about you. You know, they're not really just using you for commercials, for product sales, or anything like that. They actually have your best interest in mind, and that is huge, right? That's
Yes.
who Matt is. That's why Matt connected with you, right?
Yep.
He's told me a lot about you. He speaks highly of you. He's excited to tune into this interview. But all the guys at VS Athletics, all of them over there, they're such amazing people and they really care about track and field. That's why they started the company. It's not just about, you know, making money and using the athletes and stuff like that. So that's why I'm connected with VS Athletics. I bought my first pair of track spikes from VS Athletics. Yeah. And it's funny because when I connected with them last year at Mount Sac Relays, I walked up to the
Mhm.
booth and I'm like, you look familiar. He's like, really? I think you sold me my first pair of spikes. And I was asking him, how long have you been working for the company? He's like, I've been here for about like 20 years. I'm like, okay, 20 years ago. Yeah, that's when I started running track. It was not with you. Right. So they've been in it for a
That's
while
funny.
and they really, really care about the sport. So that's huge. Right.
Yes.
What are your goals this coming season? What are we looking to achieve this Olympic year?
Yeah, so with it being the Olympic year, I have some big goals. Indoor wise, I would love to make it to the championships. We'll see. But that would be awesome. So that's a goal for me. And obviously, just I want to get under 8 seconds. I mean, I don't know how many times I ran 8:01. So I'm sick of seeing 8 on the board. I want to see 7 something. So that's the goal for indoor. Outdoor wise, I mean, just improve with my technique and get as far as humanly possible. I mean, the trials, I obviously want to do well, advance to Paris. Um, but I also do know, if that doesn't happen, there's also other things for me to do to keep going. And so, yeah, that's the goal. Um, and just remember to have fun with everything that I'm doing because it's a career now. It's like a job now.
It is a
And
job.
so,
It's your dream
yeah,
job.
it's a job. Yep. And so it's different than when I was in college and I knew that they were going to take me everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's different now, but just remember to like work as hard as I can, but also enjoy it because athletics do not last forever. And I want to be able to just have an experience of a lifetime and remember everything about it. So that's my goal for this year.
That's amazing. What helps you stay mentally focused to achieve those goals, to continue to lock in and train?
Yeah. Um, I just think in general, I'm a very, very determined, goal-oriented person. And I want to get better. And I have that in the back of my head, like, if I don't do this at practice, if I don't recover properly, if I'm not eating properly, then 2 months down the road, I'm not going to perform the way that I want to, and then I'm going to be really miserable, and I don't want that to happen. So just thinking of the future and thinking of that it might be hard to do it now, but thinking of how I'll feel later, I think is a big motivation. And I just want to put 100% into everything I do because if I don't, then I know that I'm going to have those regrets like, oh, I should have done this differently or I should have, and I just don't want to have any regrets. And so that's why I wake up every morning and I just kind of remind myself of my goals in a couple months and then it gets it going and got to start the day and get everything done. And so that I won't be sad in a couple of months, that I'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah. Once you hit your goals, become who you want to become, make it to that Olympic stage, definitely won't be sad. You have everything it
Yep.
takes. So I'm definitely wishing you the best, right?
Thank
Um,
you.
but you said something. You said we can't run track forever, right? Athletics comes to an end. Every track and field athlete has to hang their spikes up. Every football player has to hang their cleats up, right? So what are
Yeah.
your goals after track? Once we have to hang those spikes up, do you see yourself contributing to the sport and coaching? Do you have any other like business endeavors in mind? What are you doing after track?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, so after that is I coach at a university, and also as far as business endeavors, I want to start my own business. I've always liked the idea of being my own boss and not having to answer to anybody. Um, and so I love I love dogs. That is like something that I'm obsessed with. And so I've always thought and about investing in doing a doggy hotel slash daycare facility,
Mm.
um, and just making it more of like a homey place to drop your dogs off rather than like a cold boarding facility. Um, and I just think it's a good idea because everybody loves their dogs, and dog people are crazy, myself included. So they will pay me to take care of their dogs. And so I think that is a really good area to go into. So yeah, definitely starting my own business, and coaching are my goals. And also starting a family. I'd love to have my some kids someday after I'm done running.
Yeah, I don't know what the dog parent is like in Arizona, but out here in California, they will pay money for a doggy hotel, a doggy daycare, all the doggy
Exactly.
treats, the doggy grooming. People out here love their dogs. So I don't know if you want to open it out there, but
Exactly.
out
Dog
here,
people are
that will definitely
crazy.
be successful. They are. But I wasn't going to
Yeah.
say that. But since you admitted it, you said it first. But
Hey,
yes,
I'm a
dog
dog
people are
person. I
crazy.
can say it. Yeah.
You said it first. You said it first. But I want to take a second to thank you for sitting down, having this conversation with me. It's been a pleasure getting to know more about you, learning more about your track and field journey, your goals this coming season. I'm looking forward to seeing you compete. You had everything it takes to make it to that World Olympic stage. Stay focused. You got it. Wishing you a healthy season with plenty PRs. Okay.
Thank you.
My pleasure. That is it for us today on Trackletics Live. See y'all next episode. Peace.